So I want to give you a little bit of a upfront warning. Maddie and I talked about this movie a lot. I mean, if you count the immediate, all right, walking out of the theater, and then the promo episode, and then the pre-gaming where we're watching videos and getting ready to do the podcast, and the podcast itself, and we probably discussed this movie for well over 2 hours. So I have cut this down to about an hour and a half, which we are going to spread over 3 episodes since we shoot for about a half an hour each. If you want to just do the whole thing in one shot, you're going to have to wait until midweek next week. But in the meantime, you can always check out my blog up at argocitycomics.wordpress.com, where I do have a full write-up with my thoughts and perspectives on this film. You'll find a lot of that informs this discussion. It gives me a place to jump off for. It was my rehearsal. Maddie had similar thoughts. So, this is our review of Superman 2025. This is an Argo City Extra.
And we have returned!
Okay, so did you catch the little teaser last week? Everybody I knew online was asking me about this movie because we got there early. We got to
see a preview of it.
We got to see it on Monday when it came out on Friday.
Yeah!
And man, that was quite a line.
Yeah, we got there at least an hour and 15 minutes before that thing started.
About that, yeah.
And by the time I eventually figured out where I was going in the mall, because I kept getting lost, by the time I eventually found where you were we were just about where we sat for Stitch.
Yeah, and you know what? The line was actually longer behind us by the time we got in than it was in front of us. But this goes back to something that I mentioned in our preview episode, that I feel a real anticipation for this one. I feel a real vibe here.
Yes.
Some hype there. And that's kind of cool. Now, maybe that's just a Cleveland thing. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, it might just be that.
But I think we've got a lot to talk about here today. And so we're just going to
We're going to go off the deep end. So
yeah, we're going to talk about not just the movie, but some of the other movies and Superman in general, comics, and just all around. Expect to hear me talking a lot this time around, probably.
Yeah.
Kind of like this is going to be the equivalent of like a hardcore anime episode with Maddie.
Yeah.
But let's get into this. The new Superman movie. I did a blog on this actually the day after, just to we don't want to release too much ahead of time. That's why we wait.
Yeah.
Because we want you to go. We don't want you to necessarily. We don't want to tell you what to think.
Yeah, we want you to go see the movie yourself, formulate your own opinions, then come back to us and either argue with us or agree with us.
Yeah,
because that's what makes it fun.
We want to have a discussion about it. So this is really different from a lot of the stuff that has gone before. And that was a thing I liked. I'm pulling out, I have copies of Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't hate Man of Steel. I like the way that they approached the origin story in Man of Steel, in that they kind of spread it throughout. I like the way they did it here better, in that they didn't.
Literally, we're going over the Arctic as we get a Star Wars themed scrolling of his backstory.
Yeah.
We didn't waste any time on it, which was really nice.
Right. No, he unapologetically drops us right into a world that is full of superheroes.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
he just kind of mentions that, Superman, or tells us where we're at. Superman revealed himself 3 years ago.
Yeah, because
and this is the first time that he's lost a fight.
Yeah, because I feel like in a lot of like superhero movies, we waste a good amount of time getting the backstory.
Oh, we so do.
Like everybody knows Batman's backstory, everybody knows Superman's backstory. It's so ingrained into like media these days, you can't miss it. We waste at least half an hour trying to go through those. Most
we
days.
waste half a movie. A lot of time.
Sometimes.
Like I don't watch the first hour of The Punisher. When we were doing that the other a few months back, I'm like I don't actually watch this part of the movie that often. This is interesting. I don't watch the first hour of Spider-Man.
That's true.
It's just get me to where they're suited up, because I've already had the origin story so many times. So I do like this better. I'll tell you one of the other things that I really do like about this. I'm grabbing the DVD again.
Shiny.
It's shiny, but
it's 3D.
And they've got a spotlight on him. You know why they have a spotlight on him?
Why?
Because it's night.
Oh, that's cool.
Superman does not work at night. Batman works at night. But certain characters like Superman and Spider-Man, they should be seen in the daylight. Yeah. They're optimistic, they're hopeful, and we should... If we look at just the colors on the suit, they're brighter than we've seen previously. They're not muted.
True, yeah.
So much of this happens during the daytime. There's literally a moment where he's at his apartment recuperating, and he's just letting the Justice gang.
We're in like a New York style apartment with like an overview of the city. We see this monster in the background. He's just sitting on his couch talking
Green
with
Lantern
Lois.
can't handle it.
Like they're just like, no, I'm just letting them handle this, and I'm sitting there in the theater and I'm just watching them like, what? I'm waving my hands around dramatically, but like, what? Why are we not doing anything? I'm laughing hysterically.
And it fits though, because Superman works better in the daylight. Superman is very much a daytime character.
And he has to get enough beauty sleep to be able to write all of his crap in the morning.
I suppose so. Well, you've got to get the tangles out of the hair stuff like that.
How many hours of sleep does a Kryptonian need?
It depends on who you ask. And I'm not saying that to be funny.
Well, I'm asking you. How many hours of sleep does a Kryptonian need?
In general, from what I read, he sleeps like a normal person. He sleeps a normal amount, but he doesn't necessarily have to. But he's been raised as a human. That's fundamental to his nature. That's fundamental to his patterns.
Yeah, the patterning. Yeah, that would screw with you.
Well, and you know what? This is important, too, because if I don't know if you have an answer to this. If I were to ask you, okay, what's your favorite Superman? TV show, movie, comic book. What's your favorite version of Superman?
The only difference one I know is the one that shows up for like not even 30 seconds in the DC Superhero Girls.
And that makes absolute sense to me. Like, this is not... You have a better than passing knowledge of DCU and of Superman and of all this stuff. But...
My knowledge is like more geared toward Supergirl, though.
Yeah, but I can narrow you down for me. If it's the comics, it's the John Byrne run, and that's around 1986 when he rebooted the series, revamped it. And when I say the John Byrne run, I actually kind of mean the Jerry Ordway run, because Ordway took over for Byrne. But this is this immediate pre-crisis era. So if I'm out there collecting Superman comics, like right now I'm trying to put together a complete run from John Byrne's Man of Steel in 1986 right up into the New 52, which was early 2000s, and that's the era I like. That's the era I really enjoy. Now, if I'm going to talk about my favorite Superman on screen is George Reeves. That's the old black and white TV show.
Yeah.
You've seen bits and pieces of that.
Yeah, I think so.
I am super fortunate that I have autographs from Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen from that show.
Oh, very nice.
My favorite Superman in modern era, the best one in my lifetime has been Superman and Lois on the CW.
Yeah, I remember
this
you
recent
were
one.
you were really, really into that when it came out.
Man, and I didn't expect to be. It's a different era. It's okay, that's them in their 40s as parents, and they just get everything right. So the fact that I can have these opinions and the fact that I can drill down like that, that's going to give you a little bit of an idea of what Superman means to me. Mm-hmm. I have an acquaintance who, like, I didn't see her for 20 years, and the first thing she said to me as soon as we met again was like, "I see you're still wearing Superman."
I mean, that is kind of a staple of you.
Yeah, it is, but that means it means something. I mean, I have shirts, I have ties. There's a Superman logo on my license plate on my car, which is really funny considering my car is a Batmobile. Some of you are like, "You're kidding, right?" And the rest of you are like,
"No,
I've seen that thing rolling down the bad streets of Cleveland, Ohio."
No, actually, now that I think about it, I'm surprised nobody's questioned that when you've brought it out.
Oh, they've questioned it.
What's been your excuse?
Batman wishes he was Superman.
What? That's what you say?
It generally is, yes. I mean, really, Nightwing will admit it. Batman won't. So, talking about wishing they were Superman, let me just bring this right out, because we did a couple of videos ahead of time.
Yeah, he has a very huge stack of books with everything.
I warned you last week. There was homework involved.
This thing is as tall as our air conditioner. Oh, okay. And I've just been handed a book called Lex Luthor: A Celebration of 75 Years.
So Lex is the villain in this, but I really do like the fact that we finally get
he's alive.
We finally get a proper Lex, who is this billionaire CEO. And he's got money and tech behind him. Lex Luthor, since the Byrne run, since Byrne's reboot, really, I mean, he was evil Tony Stark. That's the best way to put it.
That is the most hilarious... that is the most hilarious... What is the word I'm looking for? That is the most hilarious comparison you've ever said.
But it makes sense. It's the best description I can give you. And I like that. Not that I necessarily think that corporate America, capitalism, or a big businessman is necessarily evil. It's just that this one is. He genuinely is. And we really haven't seen that in the movies before. We've barely seen that anywhere. The closest we get is back in Smallville. Now, Smallville is the TV series where Superman's growing up. And this does have the single best Lex Luthor in any format.
Didn't we watch, like, an episode?
We watched a little bit of this. We should watch more of it, because there's the first few seasons are really good. But Lex is about 21 in this, and Clark is about 16.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that Lex is supposed to be significantly older than him.
I mean, just enough so that they can hang, but not so much that they're both in high school.
16 and 21?
Yeah, about that. Maybe 19.
Yeah, I would say 19 would make more sense to me. I don't really see any 16-year-olds hanging out with 21-year-olds.
I don't know. I mean, there's some nepotism here. His father's bringing him into...
and it's small town, so, like, yeah. I get it.
And that's the entire point. His father's kind of brought him in to manage that version of the plant.
That's cool. So he's getting, like, experience.
Yes. And this is also, you had a complaint about... I
did?
About the company. About the company name. It should be LexCorp.
It's LexCorp. LexCorp. It's not Luthor Corp. I remember when it showed up on screen, I did not like that.
That bugs me too, especially since LexCorp is a John Byrne creation. But Luthor Corp shows up here first, because in
there's a bigger picture of it.
Yes. In this, it's his father's company that he kind of steals away from him. Now, in the comics, it's something that he created himself, so LexCorp makes more sense, but
No,
that
I
mean,
guess,
even
I guess
in
that would make sense.
even in Supergirl, they kind of muddle it, and
with
his
her-
sister decides we're going to rename it L-Corps.
Yeah.
So we're not even going to talk about
We've
it.
got it's Lena Luthor in the DC superhero girls.
Lena's part of the comics.
She is?
She shows up in either the late 70s or early 80s. I think that's where she first shows up, but I remember comics with her in it, and they're Supergirl comics.
Yay!
So that's one of those things too here. This movie is all about referencing characters from the comics.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember when there's one point specifically towards the end of the movie where they are trying to make their way to watch. We get the whole crew from the Daily Planet. You come with me, come with me, come with me. He's
seriously,
literally. Yeah. What's his name?
Can we just talk about that for a second?
He's just calling upon different people,
we
and
have
I'm just like,
the-
oh my god.
We have the entire Daily Planet bullpen. It's not just Clark and Lois and Jimmy and Perry.
No,
they are also bringing in Cat Grant.
We got Cat Grant. I called her up the second she showed up on screen.
And you recognized her. This is how good they did that. She doesn't look at all like the one you're used to, but you can recognize exactly who that character is. They bring in Steve Lombard, who is a Silver Age character. He's the sports writer who always makes fun of Clark for being a wimp.
Oh, poor guy.
They brought him in briefly in the 2000s, but it's perfect. He gets time to talk. He gets time to be a jerk. And yes, he gets to be an object of ridicule. Even Perry's like, how many? 1, 2, 3. Troop, you two. Ron Troop is an African-American reporter who first shows up in the Jimmy Olsen comics. This is one of those, you have this great African-American character. Why are you not using him? Why are you race swapping instead? It drives me nuts, but at least he's included. I know this character. I like this character. And all the characters in the Daily Planet bullpen, they nailed them. Perry White, so the editor.
Yeah. I'm
always going to be upset with a race swap every time. I don't understand. That's not representation. That's a hand-me-down. I think people should be insulted that you race swap a character instead of giving you an original one. Again, we've got an original one that they're not using. Urgh. But Wendell Pierce, who's playing Perry White, other than the melanin content, let me tell you, he's perfect. Mm-hmm. They race swapped Perry White for Man of Steel as well, and they used Lawrence Fishburne. He was Giant Man in the Ant-Man one, in the Ant-Man story. He's also the mysterious Morpheus, the mentor in The Matrix. He's done a lot of stuff. I love him in everything he's in.
Okay.
And he got Perry White completely wrong.
Oh.
Wendell Pierce gets him completely right. Mm-hmm. Perry White it's J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man.
Oh, amazing.
Only with heart, who doesn't hate the hero. He's chomping on Scar. He is shouting out orders. He's snapping at people. Don't call me Chief! And
he is yelling at everybody. It's so much fun.
It's so good. They get Jimmy Olsen right. Jimmy Olsen is a hard character to do. Because he's just supposed to be this annoying kid. Nipping at the heels. I want to get experience. Can I tag along? Can I take your photo? Can I do this or that?
Yeah.
Supergirl decided to make him into this sleek, hunky black guy. And that's not Jimmy Olsen. I like the character that they created.
Yeah, and
I wish they'd named him something else.
And it's sad that that's the only real Jimmy Olsen that I really know. So
it really is, because the tech guy in that show, who's supposed to be a descendant of Toyman, he'd be a perfect Jimmy Olsen. Mm-hmm. Well, this is a perfect Jimmy Olsen. This is an absolute perfect Jimmy Olsen. He's kind of gawky. He's a go-getter. He's young but eager to please. He's just in the background. Except when he's not.
Yeah,
Jimmy Olsen almost saves the day.
He gets his big moments in this thing. He seduces the girlfriend of Lex Luthor, And
I love that they even address that. It's like, what is it with you? How do you do this?
Yeah, how are you doing that? Everybody is so confused.
Like in the comics, his girlfriend is Lois's younger sister.
Really?
It's Lucy.
Lois has a sister?
Lois has a sister named Lucy Lane.
Oh.
But then also, at one point, Cat Grant gets a little enamored with him when she realizes she can't have Clark.
Oh.
So the idea that Jimmy just bumbles into these relationships. And the latest one is with Miss Tessmacher.
Oh my gosh.
Before we started, I ran some videos.
Yes, you showed me some videos before we started.
Because you had to see where Miss Tessmacher comes from.
Yeah.
This is from like the 78 film, but they also reference it in Supergirl. Mm-hmm. It's constant in here. And you were saying, like, you have all the characters in, like, Mr. Terrific's T-Sphere going out, and Perry's like...
Yeah, we, like, especially the guy that's on the ground that's like, why don't I have a seatbelt?
Poor Steve Lombard. So the tough guy, the sports writer.
Yeah, the poor guy.
They do it on the other side, though, as well. I mentioned Miss Tessmacher. There's also one large African-American guy. He's got kind of graying hair, who's one of the guys in Luthor's command center. That's Otis. So that's played by Ned Beatty in the movies. He's a lot more bumbling there, and that's fun. But just the fact that they decided, okay, he's going to be the one.
Oh, yes.
But the other thing I saw, I'm going to pull open an issue from early Superman. So this is like...
Yeah, this book just says Superman, the Man of Steel.
So this is from the first, right after the Man of Steel miniseries. There's a quick run. And I noticed that one of the guys, one of the scientist guys, big glasses, mustache. He's right there.
I was going to say, the guy that, like, wants to shut down the whole thing?
Yeah, the guy that doesn't want to end the world because he's mad at that they chose Superman over Lex.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Happerstein.
He has a bald spot.
He does, but he shows up frequently through this era. That's kind of cool. I was watching the credits because I wanted to see if it was him.
So that's why you were looking so closely at it.
Yes, I wanted to see who was who in the credits. I'm looking through, and I actually see one of the names is Amanda McCoy. So this is, again, it's issue 2 of the reboot.
Okay.
And she's working for Lex. She's one of the scientists. She feeds data and probability through the computers, and she comes up with this.
Clark Kent is Superman in big, bold, yellow letters!
So the fact that they're even throwing her in here...
That's so cool.
The names are constant. Even if the names aren't mentioned on screen, they're constantly there.
They really did their research, didn't they?
I really like that.
They really did their homework.
And that's one of those things, though, I mean, there's tons of this stuff. Because I mentioned to you, you watch the background. Just keep watching the background. And that's one of those things that I kept doing because there is so much going on in this background, and I would point it out to you.
Yeah, you were like motioning to me, and I would look at you confused.
It's not just that the movie is shot and kind of almost set in Cleveland.
Literally, there's so much in Cleveland.
Metropolis is Cleveland. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's little stuff. Like, I'm loving Lois's apartment. There are books everywhere. And then I'm suddenly like, are you kidding me? So one of her bookends is the Maltese Falcon. You
pointed that out to me, and I was like, wait, no way!
It took a second, and they had to get back to it, and then you saw, because I have a replica of the Maltese Falcon.
We have one. I'm
on my
pointing
bookshelf.
at it. Yeah, it's right over there. I'm pointing at it.
On Clark Kent's desk, there is a jar of Superman peanut butter.
Yeah, you looked at me and said that, and I didn't believe you until they came back around, and I was like, oh my god, that's a real thing.
That is we got it when I was a kid. My mother would get me Superman peanut butter.
Why would you get Superman peanut butter?
I don't even know why it's a branding thing. You have to be a Gen Xer, I think. But
1981.
Yes.
They want $75 for that.
Well, you're looking at an eBay. But yes, this was a real thing. And I love that they're just... That kind of stuff is constant through there. If you watch the street signs are named after Superman writers.
That's fun.
I saw a Wade Avenue. I saw stuff like that. I saw a billboard for Big Belly Burgers. If you watch through like Supergirl and stuff like that, that's like a franchise in the DC universe. Oh. It's their McDonald's. And it's shown up everywhere. I love the fact that it shows up here.
Huh. Okay.
And then, of course, there's just the fact that it's Cleveland. It's where we live.
Oh my gosh, we actually went and we did a tour around Cleveland a while back to like explore some of the stuff from the trailer.
Right. This was supposed to be an episode of its own.
Yeah.
Except some of the data got lost.
Except for I was clearing out my storage and it accidentally deleted all my long videos. I'm so mad. I had spent like 6 or 7 hours editing that.
But it's so prominent in the film that you suddenly see stuff. In
Literally.
fact, you know what? Let me pause this right here. Let's get back to you with an extra, and we will come back a little later this week because I want to talk about our walking tour, and I want to talk more about the movie.
Bye.